the fight I want to see is you, Shakur Foster versus Emmanuel Navarrete. That's the fight I want to see, and I'm gonna break down that fight if it does happen in a future video if it does happen. But based off what I saw, I don't think Shakur Foster beats Emmanuel Navarrete. Boom! Welcome back to the channel, guys. In this video, I'm giving my opinions and thoughts of the Shakur Foster and Raymond Ford fight and what I would like to see from Shakur Foster moving forward. The fight went pretty much how I expected it to be, and one thing I do want to add is I kind of saw where Shakur Foster is lacking, even though I do think he's improved over time. Raymond Ford did good. Definitely his gas tank was a big factor, and that's what I want to talk about to start off. I feel like the first 6 rounds of that fight were really hard to judge. There was very little to pick from. It was either the consistency of Shakur Foster or the more telling but not as often blows from Raymond Ford. Now, after 6 rounds, it was pretty even. You could have had it 4-2 either way or 3-3. I remember at the time I had Foster 4-2, but as I was saying to my son, I was like, these rounds could go either way, honestly. I wouldn't be shocked if somebody had it 4-2 for Raymond Ford. It wasn't until the latter half of the fight that Shakur Foster started to take over and kind of won this fight decisively, although still competitive. Raymond Ford gas tank failed him a little bit, but I do want to talk about that a little bit, right? Just because you get a little bit more fatigue doesn't mean you can't perform at a top level. If Raymond Ford was fighting somebody else other than Shakur Foster with the same level of fatigue, he could have still performed at a higher level. What happens is Shakur Foster's stamina didn't drop as much as his, so he was able to stay more at his full potential throughout the fight than Raymond Ford. At one point, Raymond Ford had to start pulling his punches a little bit, and though he had a good poker face, there was a few times where I think he felt the power of Shakur Foster. Not saying Shakur Foster's a big puncher, but he definitely didn't want to keep getting punched by him. But because he was so well conditioned, he was able to take the onslaught and go to the 12 rounds. But nonetheless, if it was any lesser of a fighter and Raymond Ford had that same level of fatigue, he might have still been able to pull it off. But again, Shakur Foster, another thing I want to add, Shakur Foster might have been fatigued, and maybe Shakur Foster has a better skill set when it comes to fighting under a fatigue state, because fighting under a fatigue state is a skill within itself. So, not saying it was either or, that Shakur Foster's stamina was just so good, or he just fights better fatigued, or maybe it was both, but nonetheless, that also showed me where Shakur Foster kind of lacks. I said in my prediction that this was going to be a take turns type of fight. There wasn't going to be too many counters. It was going to be, it's my turn or your turn. Whoever could get off first and let off those punches, and in that combos, the punches that landed were going to count. That's what happened. Shakur Foster had more turns throwing punches. This wasn't a dodge, duck, parry, counter, move, stay inside the pocket type of fight. You know, it was still a good boxing match. Now, what I want to see from Shakur Foster at this point, I do not want to see him versus Shakur Stevenson. I know that fight is getting hyped up right now, but man, let me tell you, this fight actually has a lot of hype behind it because of them going back and forth talking all this crap, but the fans don't want it. We don't want it. No fault to Shakur Foster. All right? You did what you're supposed to do against Raymond Ford, and you did a really good job. But the fight I want to see is you, Shakur Foster versus Emmanuel Navarrete. That's the fight I want to see, and I'm going to break down that fight if it does happen in a future video, if it does happen. But based off what I saw, I don't think Shakur Foster beats Emmanuel Navarrete. I actually think Emmanuel Navarrete has a good chance of stopping him. I do think it's a good fight, but Emmanuel Navarrete is not going to be one to pull back punches, and he's willing to take one and take two, and I think that type of style fight is going to be more fatiguing for Shakur Foster than this type of style fight that he just had with Raymond Ford. So not only do I not want to see him against Shakur Stevenson, I don't think he beats Emmanuel Navarrete. And at this point, he's better off trying to fight Anthony Kachechi if he's trying to really, hold on to that belt. But O'Shaquie Foster is very ambitious. He wants to fight the best, so no fault to him. I'm glad he's trying to fight Shakur Stevenson, but if that fight gets made, I'm not a happy camper. I want to see him versus Emmanuel Navarrete, and I think Emmanuel Navarrete beats O'Shaquie Foster in a clear fight. Now, that's it for O'Shaquie Foster. I want to add one more thing over here. This is 2 times in a row I've lost money on Omari Jones because he didn't get the knockout. Omari Jones has this skill set that is just phenomenal, but he doesn't have that killer instinct. And I'm done betting on this guy. 2 fights in a row. I thought, yo, listen, as good as Omari Jones is, he's going to get the knockout victory against these 2 opponents. And he should have. And even the commentators were agreeing. They were like, okay, is Omari Jones going to get this guy out of here or not? It seems like everybody else has more belief on Omari Jones than Omari Jones has on himself. So just wanted to throw that out there. Guys, I don't think O'Shaquie Foster beats Shakur Stevenson, and I don't think he beats Emmanuel Navarrete at this point. That's not my official prediction, but that's what I'm sticking with right now based off what I saw. And that's my review for the fight, guys. I know it was a short one, but I just wanted to get that out there because right now, O'Shaquie Foster's doing good, hyping himself up with Shakur Stevenson's name, but I don't want to see that fight. All right? Until the next one, guys. Boom. I'm out.